Greetings from the Whole Elephant Institute. Yes, we are back to our community outreach site in the School District 25, Flushing, New York. For the past 15 years, the Whole Elephant Institute has been carrying out truth clarification projects in this community day in and day out, and to reach out to everyone who has connection with the whole elephant concept. Why the whole elephant? Well, because modern people are blind. Modern people have been indoctrinated by the ideology of materialism, by the so-called evolution theory, by the so-called label of atheism ideology, and the worst is also brainwashed by the evil ideology of communism. And in Western world, people didn't realize that they've been actually totally controlled by the variants of communism. The communist evil specter has been controlling the world here as well. But people thought that this is a land of freedom, democracy, human rights. And a lot of people come to this piece of land and considering that they will be able to enjoy freedom, democracy, and human rights. Well, it is not true. As a matter of fact, the one thing that a lot of people still have not realized is the very fact that for the past 21 years, the Communist China has been persecuting over 100 million Falun Gong practitioners. And this 100 million Falun Gong practitioners, the main body is in mainland China. And the world somehow started to consider that the Communist China no longer have communism and has been turning into the richest, most powerful capitalist country in the world. And they all wanted to have a piece of cake over there by doing business with the Chinese Communist government, not knowing that that is a deadly trap for them. The moment they step onto the land of Communist China, they would be subjected to the most crafty, evil, brainwashing, lies, with all kinds of corruptive tactics to turn them into part of Communist Party of China, to turn it into a molecule of that gigantic cancer inside of China created by the Chinese Communist Party through multiple as a matter of fact, not multiple, never ending, one after another, waves of class struggle, so-called social movements of communism to systematically wipe out the 5,000 years of traditional Chinese culture, to systematically eliminate all human dignity, all human private rights, property, including the fundamental human rights of a woman to give birth to a baby. And in 1989, the world suddenly was informed by this horrible massacre, Tiananmen massacre of the young students. And then after that, the world was informed of the horrible, persecution of 100 million Falun Gong practitioners who simply just want to exercise their most fundamental, most beautiful right to find their true self, following the law of the universe that they learned to be truthfulness, compassion, forbearance, and the law of the universe, Falun Dafa. And 100 million Falun Dafa practitioners were subjected to the most brutal persecution ever since July 20th, 1999. And the whole world was given the truth by the persecuted Falun Gong practitioners day in and day out. And the world was silent. Most people were asleep. Most people still did not want to say no to CCP. And most world leaders, they could not resist the temptation from the CCP controlled government in luring them inside of China to do business with a hope to make money, and to open the doors of each nation to allow the junks, the cheap goods made by slave laborers inside of China, and to take away all the great job market and all the great creativity and all the great products in the Western world. And they sold their conscience in the process, and they lost their sense of justice in that process, and they thought that they were gaining wealth, and they also pacified themselves with a good excuse of going to China to deliver the concept of democracy and human rights and freedom by making the Chinese people rich first. It's all self-deceptive pacifier that people created to justify their acts of violation of human rights, violation of the fundamental principles of a human being that is usually safeguarded by their very good conscience and sense of justice. And to use one word, corruption. Yes, the CCP, evil spirit, corrupted so many spirits in the Western world with covered up evil. And it's just like a malignant cancer, like the cancer cells metastasizing all over the world. And also the malignant cancer start to secrete molecules to attract the blood vessel to innervate into the gigantic, ever-growing, crazy, malignant cancer mass to allow it to grow and grow without any restraint. And the good immune system in this world, in the human world, the American people form the nation called the United States of America, in the entire globe of the human world, actually supposed to act as the immune system, the world police officer, to safeguard, the fundamental health and to eliminate perpetrators of non-self, the perpetrators, the virus, the bacteria of the human world, the evil entities that entered into the human world with a mission to destroy, to take over, to create a human society disease. And the immune system is usually the first to be alerted and to launch the immune response and to eliminate all non-self entities and to maintain the purity of the human race and the strength and the health of the human society. However, this very important immune system, as a matter of fact, has been for quite a long time taken over, controlled, infiltrated target of destruction by the malignant cancer of the human society, driven by the evil spirit of communism. And the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, certainly immediately target America and view America as the number one enemy to destroy in order to take over the whole world. Yes, you know, this is the vision Mom has as a cancer researcher. And when they awakened to the truth that, as a matter of fact, the human body is a universe, it's definitely not a molecular machine that has been depicted by the blind men, modern scientists, who claim that they will one day conquer nature, outsmart nature, and find the blue map of the entire human body, the human body molecular machine. The blue map is all in the gene, so they have the Human Genome Project to sequence every nucleic acid base in the human genome, and consider that once they got the human genome sequence, they got the blue map, that they will be able to be the master of the human body machinery and to be able to randomly engineer and manipulate and alter and play with the human body molecular machinery without any further restraint, totally founded on the base of atheism. As a matter of fact, that's also the foundation of communism. Ideology-wise, yes, modern science. The Industrial Revolution in England started in the 17th century. Yes, all that come together with the evil ideology of communism. Men want to dominate nature. Men want to outsmart nature. When men want to be the God and disregard all divine presence. Yeah, from that moment on, man was on their way of the titanic journey of self-destruction with blind arrogance. And now, in the year of 2020, what happened to the world? Mankind is now in face of a little virus leaked out from the Wuhan Virology Research Institute, which was trying very hard to find a vaccine against SARS ever since 2003, and certainly was supported by all the entire community of Western scientific community, the most frontier researchers of all fields, gather the essence of the modern science accomplishments and want to use men's intelligence with men's greed, arrogance, power to dominate and conquer a little virus. And that kind of pursuit eventually lead to this virus. The CCP virus, yes, it is precisely called the CCP virus because the virus seems to have eyes, specifically picking out those people who actually made the choice to be part of the CCP system, and their mind is controlled by CCP ideology, and their life is controlled by the CCP machinery. The CCP malignancy extends into various aspects of social class, different nations, through the so-called Belt and Road, all formats of so-called friendship city, association, exchange program, all in good name of making people rich, happy, healthy, more free, even under the cover of women's rights. environmental protection, go green, right? Progressiveness, right? Political correctness. Well, all the beautiful, wonderful cover-up in the Western world that starting to dominate people's mind, considering that to be the future of the world, and also totally overwhelmed the passionate minds of the young people in the Western world who start to go against tradition, go against value system, and want to totally be free without any restraint of morality, traditional value, law, principles. And these passionate minds of the young generation were very quickly controlled by the variants of communism in the Western world. Yeah. So when this CCP virus leaked out and started to travel throughout the globe of the human world, it is picking up those who are poisoned by the CCP ideology. Why? Because the CCP ideology actually is totally against the law of the universe. And therefore, when those people accept the CCP ideology of deception, fraud, violence, social struggle, self-destruction, no tolerance, and the immune system operates exactly in the same mode of such, and in the microcosmic world of the human body, the immune system started to go against the laws of the human body, the constitution of the human cells. And when the immune system starts to operate in that manner, certainly the human body is going to be so sick to the extent that the immune system not only is not protecting the human body, but it's actually launching the self-destructive program and leading to, on the human body, the doctors diagnosed to be white lung, sudden death, acute respiratory distress syndrome, SARS, right? So yes, not only that, this one even has other features that lead to disease, just like certain part of the symptoms induced by the HIV virus. Because guess what? The smart human mind of those so-called scientists in the Wuhan Virology Institute, they even engineered the virus and added the features of invading features of the virus that contains the HIV feature, and therefore it not only attack the lung but also start to attack many other organs. Yes, as long as the human body, the immune system is controlled by the communist ideology and operating in the communist operational mode, people will die, people will suffer. The whole body is going to go into an operational mode of self-destruction. A quick death through the white lung syndrome, or a slow and torturous death, now manifesting all over the world in the bodies of those who follow communist ideology, who actually align themselves with the CCP and CCP system and CCP business and CCP people. And yes, the virus as if is having an eye to pick out those people. Why that's the case? Because it's not the virus is picking these people out, it's these people's immune system is operating in the CCP mode, which is self-destructive, and that this virus is activating. Yes, so this is the truth. As a matter of fact, no vaccine is going to be able to save the people. Why? Because vaccine only works for those people who has normal immune system. And it also has to be the normal vaccine, not a deviated mRNA vaccine. The mRNA vaccine is basically deceiving the human cells, based upon the mankind's arrogance of outsmart nature and violated all levels of constitution of the human cells, and to try to deceive the human cells to make the virus protein, and then also expect the human body to attack the virus by the human cell made virus protein. You think the human body is so ignorant? Well, Mom just want to also, make this analogy of a story that all the children in China know about. It's about a little child was playing a joke on the grown-ups and keep on saying, "Wolf is coming to eat me, come to save me." The first time when he yelled that out, all the villagers came out and with weapons and tried to protect him. And he laughed at everybody and said, "I was just kidding." And the second time he did that, less people came out. The third time when he did that, almost nobody was coming out at him, considering that he was just kidding. But guess what? The third time was truly a wolf was attacking this child. And he yelled and screamed terribly, but nobody came out. And he was eaten up by the wolf. Yes, the messenger RNA vaccine is going to do exactly the same to the human body. So Mom wants to make this video today and making sure to share this video with all the people in your life, and we'll also post it on the Facebook. It's a very, very simple analogy Mom made today, and I hope many people will start to understand. Yes, maybe many scientists who are working on the vaccine, out of their good heart, they hope to be able to contribute to the well-being of the people. So Mom is not attacking them, not labeling them with any other, negativity. However, Mom also wants to call upon all the scientists from Pfizer. Mom used to be a consultant for Pfizer. Again, today, Mom wants to work as a Pfizer consultant again to let the leaders, the scientists in Pfizer, understand that yes, Dr. Tong Wen-Wang, your consultant, many years ago, as a matter of fact, was in the year of 1998, 1997. Yes, before Dr. Tong Wen-Wang started her journey to the West, was planning to go to mainland China to run a national laboratory, to work in China as a leading scientist. But she forgot that China is not the normal China. It is the communist China. And the moment when she started to practice Falun Gong in the year of 2000, and the CCP government immediately took her name off the list of the 100 overseas talents they were trying to recruit to go back to China to run national research laboratory. Yes. Before that, Dr. Tong Wen-Wang was working as a consultant for Pfizer, the osteoporosis group. Yes, Dr. Tong Wen-Wang's work in the TGF-beta superfamily signal transduction research field led to major discoveries and patents made by Harvard Medical School. Nobody has ever touched it because it is so complicated. The system of the TGF-beta family that regulates human life phenomena is so incredibly magnificent, complicated, overwhelmingly, the wisdom, the immense complexity of it is enough for people to understand that nobody can treat human body as a molecular machine. Anyway, Pfizer leaders and scientists keep up with the good, careful scientific investigation that is based upon human morality, and don't do things that violate human morality, and to try to outsmart nature, and to try to do a shortcut, and to try to pursue for profit. And the so-called messenger RNA vaccine is a dead end. It's going to lead to total bankruptcy of the Pfizer's future. Moderna, same story. And Dr. Anthony Fauci, please quiet down your heart and don't be so ambitious and don't play politics. Just be a humble scientist and start to do some careful, good scholarly work before you make this large, pseudoscience-based claim that the messenger RNA virus is going to be safe for the general public. It's such an incredibly dangerous statement that will eventually also totally fire back to you. So Dr. Fauci, be very careful and make sure to let President Trump understand that messenger RNA virus is definitely a dangerous approach, and it's a fantasy of the arrogant human mind, and it will never work. And the entire scientific community in the upcoming future will have to start to carefully examine the fundamental flaw of the modern science and start to realize that the world we are living in is not only made by molecules, it's just only the surface layer. And in fact, the molecules are not just material things, but also has mind and a spirit and a tremendous amount of wisdom and power, and is way beyond the manipulation of the human power, human intellect, and human wisdom. Yes, look at the amazing vastness of the universe we are living in, and realize, the true position of human beings in the universe, and to learn the law of the universe, and to learn the truth from the Falun Dafa practitioners who have already elevated their spirit way beyond the human level, and start to be able to see much bigger truths of the human body, space-time, and the universe, and to open up the book called Falun, Turning the Law Wheel, on the website of www.falundafa.org, and read on Dafa, and to read the book Falun, Turning the Law Wheel for 3 times. Yes, from there you will start to understand the much bigger truths, and you will start to be awakened, and your blindness will be cured, and humanity for the first time will start to have a bright future through walking on a path that has already been laid down by our Creator, and that path will lead to a very incredible future. But many people currently are facing the most critical choice, the grand choice, the choice between good and evil, virtue and vice, true and false, And so go to the fallen level practitioners to find the great truths so that you will be able to make the right choice and go into a most beautiful future and find your true self and true home.